जय जय श्री गिरिधर चैतन्य महाप्रभु की, सर्वयुक्ति विनाश लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, भक्त शिरोमणि भक्त प्रहलाद महाराज की, पावन श्री प्रभुपाद की, जय गौर प्रेमानंद। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु।
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you for wonderful Kirtana Prabhuji. Hare Krishna to all. Welcome you all to day 4 of the Bhagavad Gita session. So today we'll learn about chapter 3, which is Karma Yoga. We'll learn more about how to perform our day-to-day activities and many more things. Prabhuji will cover more in detail with stories and all. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Welcome to all once again. So I thank everyone who have assembled here. So who have taken their life seriously. So this 18 days should be something like a Mahayajna. 18 days completely dedicated to Krishna consciousness. This is the way we can perfect our life. And this chapter, third chapter, Karma Yoga, is very special because from the birth till the death, we have so many activities. How to make that, karma is nothing but activities. And how to make that yoga, the most important. How to make the karma as karma yoga. Krishna teaches in this karma yoga chapter. Okay, so to understand this and implement in our life, definitely we need the mercy of Guru and Krishna. So with a humble mood from the bottom of our heart, let us start with prayers. Okay, please join your hands along with me. Everyone can chant Mangalachari. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namavam Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshakarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataga Swaminidhi Namine Namacharya Padaya Vikrupapadaya Gaurakatadamadaya Nagaragaram Mukam Karoti Vachalam Bangam Langayate Girimatripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Paramanandam Madhavam Shri Chaitanya. As usual, before starting, let us show our gratitude and thanks to His Divine Grace Abhay Charanara Ravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of this school. Prabhupada ki jai. And before starting the third chapter, let us see what we discussed yesterday in the second chapter. One thing, once again, I am reminding, without chanting, if someone are thinking that without even chanting, I can understand Bhagavad Gita, you cannot understand. Please, please, at least, even if you have some doubts, even if you're not willing, not a problem, at least for this 18 days, you accept this chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra and try to chant for this 18 days and try to hear this. The later part, it's your decision because, in coming days, all I'll be saying all these things. Krishna has given the independence. You can utilize however you need, but at least for this 18 days, just here as we are saying, we have to purify ourselves and have a humble mood of prayers, all this. Turn on the videos, attentively hear. This 18 days is sufficient to change our life. But be serious. Okay. The second chapter, what we saw? Gita, Gita, Gita. Under that, Guru, the very first thing is Guru, how Arjuna is surrendering to his spiritual master. He was a friend. Now he is making Krishna as Guru and he's surrendering. To surrender to a Guru, we need some qualifications, that is eagerness to hear, the humbleness and courage to accept our weaknesses. Yeah. Then identity. I hope you all know this. We are the spiritual or the spirit soul. We are not this material body. And the whole Bhagavad Gita stands on this foundation that I am spirit soul. Okay. Then we have two kinds of duties or that. That is Nitya Dharma and Swadharma. What is Swadharma? Bodily duties. Nitya Dharma, soul duties. As a soul, service to the super soul. As bodily, we have so many other responsibilities followed. And the real Ananda is something which we are doing through the soul. Serving the super soul is the real Ananda, real happiness. And temporary happiness, what we get through our senses. Yeah. This lower taste and higher taste. Now, in today's chapter, third chapter, what we are going to see, the most important thing is renunciation. Renunciation, regulated activities, exemplary life, and lust like enemy. So as I said yesterday also I was saying, and I'm saying every day I'll start with a small story to understand about the renunciation. How important is renunciation in our life? So what kind of a life should we lead? How our life becomes perfect, and how can we achieve everything, whatever we need in our life? And one thing you should understand, the basics is this. By taking the loser, by giving, you get more. This is the secret of creation. Many things we learn this. So let me try to understand this by a small story. So once what happened, one king and a minister, they were conversing, and king was asking, do you have any sadhus in our kingdom? A great saints, a renunciant. Minister was saying, no, my dear master, we don't have such kind of personality, anyone in our kingdom. So the king was feeling very bad. What is the use of being a king of such a state where there is no any saintly persons? He was feeling very, what I can say, disturbed. Like, okay, fine. He left. He went to his kingdom. Meanwhile, what happened? There was a thief. So the soldiers brought some thief. He ran. He came to the minister, fell on his feet. He was saying, please excuse me. In this way, he was asking for excuse. Then he understood king also needed some saintly person, and this person is coming. So let me utilize this opportunity to make some, what I can say, a cash out of it. So then he said for the thief, okay, I'll excuse you. Not only excusing you, I'll give you 10,000 this thing, rupees, whatever, coins or rupees in those days. Just listen whatever I say. Oh, you were so happy. Not only excusing you, or even giving the reward for it. Whatever you say, I am ready to do that. Then he said, you just change your dress to saffron. Tomorrow, go sit under a tree and keep on chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Very clear. Tomorrow I'll come with the king. Whenever I tap my head like this, you say no. When I say shake my head like this, you say yes. That's it. If I nod my head like this, you say yes. If I say, shake my head like this, you say no. That is it. Very clear. Okay, the next day, morning, the minister said, oh, my dear king, we are so fortunate. Yesterday you asked the question and today there is a saintly person has come to our kingdom. Such a great renunciant that he is sitting under a tree. The king was very much surprised and he was very happy. He said, immediately let us go. He took his golden chariot with the 4 horses. He just went to the person who was pretending as a sadhu. There he went. He saw that this person is sitting there and he's chanting this Hare Krishna Mahamantra sitting under a tree. This king went. He gave a post-treated obeisances to him. He said, Mahatma, from where have you come? Who's sitting under a tree? Can I build a small ashram to you? You can come in our kingdom, he said. He said, no. Then I'll build an ashram to you. He said, no. I have taken the shelter of this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That is sufficient for me. He says, okay. See, you are sitting under a tree. There is some need. Some need will be there in your this thing. Okay, I'll give you 10,000 golden coins. Please accept. From behind, this minister is saying, no, don't accept. Then the thief who is pretending as a sadhu is saying, no, my dear king, I don't need this. Then he says, okay, I'll give you 20,000 golden coins. He says, no. And finally, he says 50,000 golden coins. Then from the behind, minister is saying, is shaking his head, yes, now you accept this. Say, yes, I need this. But for his astonishment, the thief is saying, no, I don't need this. Then the king said, okay. And now the minister is scared. What will happen? So the king is saying, I'll give you 1 lakh golden coins. Now the minister was thinking, oh, this thief is more cunning than me. I had planning for 50,000 golden coins. So I thought of giving him 10,000 and remaining to have to myself. Now he's having a bigger plan. He's planning for the 1 lakh golden coins. Now the minister says, yes. Now you say, okay, yes. Once again, for his surprise, the thief is saying, no. Then the king said, oh, you're such a renunciant. I'm so happy to be with you. I'll give you half of my kingdom. You can rule, because a saintly person should rule the kingdom. Definitely, I'm not a saintly person. So at least I'll be under your shelter. You will rule half of the kingdom. And this thief is thinking, oh, really is a very, the minister is thinking, he's a really great thief. He has understood the king very well. Now he is going to take the half of the kingdom. Once again, the thief is saying, no, I don't need this. Then finally, the king says, I have a very beautiful daughter. She is in her full youth. Very beautiful. And you are also in youth. I'll get married to you. And I'll give my whole kingdom under you. And anyway, I'm getting old. I'll go to the forest. I'll take my vanaprastha. Complete kingdom will be given to you. Please rule my kingdom. My citizens will be so fortunate to be under you, your guidance. And now the minister is thinking, he's really a great thief. He is going to take over complete kingdom. And for his astonishment, once again, the thief is saying, no. And finally, the king gave a prostrated obeisances. He said, whatever I have in my life, everything is at your lotus feet, my dear Sadhu. I am your servant. On your behalf, I'll be ruling the kingdom. Whatever you need, just give me a word. Your servant is there. I'll be ready to serve you. He'll say the minister, I'm so happy. I'm so fortunate to be under the shelter of such a saintly person. Come, let us go. And the minister sends of this king. He says, a small work. I'll complete and come, you go. He sends the king, and with very angry mood, he comes to this thief. Oh, great fool. What did you do? You had so many opportunities. You said, no. Before he chastises this thief, he gives obeisances to this minister and he says, you are my spiritual master. He was surprised to hear this. What fool, spiritual master. I said you to do something. You left over all the opportunity and now you are saying spiritual matter. What is this? And he says, I have understood one divine secret. One divine secret of this creation. That when I said, see, I was the greatest thief. I was just going and catching everyone's feet to excuse me. Yesterday, I came and caught your feet also. Everyone used to kick me. And today, I'm just pretending, not a real sadhu, pretending to be a sadhu, a great king. In his golden chariot, is coming and falling at my feet. See the difference. And he was ready to give 10,000 golden coins. I said, no. And the same thing became 20. When I said no, it became 50. When I said no, it became 1 lakh. When I said no, it became half of the kingdom, then full kingdom with his daughter. One divine secret I understood in this creation. When I say no, it will be increasing in my life. Once completely, if I say no to this material world, then I'll be qualified to enter the spiritual world. Welcome. This is the divine secret I have understood by your mercy, my dear minister. And this message is not for the minister, it's for us. We have to understand. That is what regulated activity is. Controlling our senses makes us to progress in our life. Clear? The message is very clear. And now the expansion comes by Krishna with this chapter. Let us go further. And today's acronym is TREE, Tyaga Regulated Activities, Exemplary and Enemy. In Tyaga, in this renunciation, there are two kinds of Tyaga. One is false renunciation and real renunciation. And most of us, we are behind this false renunciation. Taking Bhagavad Gita, we think it's renunciant life, and we give up our responsibilities. Rupa Goswami very wonderfully explains this. Palgu Vairagya and Yukta Vairagya. How far you will be able to understand this? So only very thing, it's small thing is not to give up the activities. The real renunciation means giving up the results of the activities. We should perform the duties, and that is the meaning of this karma yoga. Karmanyevadikaraste ma paleshu kadachana ma karma pala heturbur mate sangostva karmani. Many fools, they take up only 50% of this verse and they say, work like a kayakave kailasa. Work. No, just working cannot be karma yoga. Working, doing our responsibilities and offering the results to the Supreme Lord, that becomes the real renunciation. And this is what our ancestors were living. We are the greatest fools. We said that they are what can you say, superstitious, or they are ignorant people. They don't know what is their life. They were just unwanted, doing puja to stone. Many things we were saying that. Actually, in those days, when they used to go for any work or anything, when they get the salary, what did they do? Get the salary, keep in front of the Lord. Correct? That means, I am your servant. You are the boss. Give to the Lord. And whenever there is some expenditure, they go, pray to the Lord, take that amount and do the expenditure, whatever. That means the master is there. I am the servant. And whose house is that? That is the Supreme Lord's house. Even we are fools, no? Sometimes we do Guru Pravesha and those things all. You see the house name, what we keep? Srinivasa Nilaya, Govinda Nilaya. What is the meaning of it? Arey, that house belongs to Srinivasa. That house belongs to Govinda. We keep only in the road. The board will be there for Govinda. That is it. That is its position. Standing on the streets. In the house, I will be a boss. Isn't it? Just imagine who are the fools here. Where our ancestors were fools, or we are the fools. But still we think, hey, I am very much educated. I am having such a master degree in this much, that much. What is the use? We have lost our life. What is the use in having the degrees and these things? Okay. So real renunciation. Once what happened in Srila Prabhupada's life also, he went to America. And other disciples of other guru, they invited Srila Prabhupada and said, see, our guru is so renunciant. See this, they had a big photo of his guru, and they had a heap of gold coins and cash. And he is saying like this, he's showing his hand, both the hands, that I don't need anything. He's saying, see, how great renunciant is our guru. And Srila Prabhupada says, the same heap of cash and gold coins you keep in front of me, I'll embrace it and I'll say it's mine. You take a photo and keep my photo. Everyone are frustrated. You are a great sadhu, you want everything. Yes, I'm not a fool like your guru, no. He is a fool, he don't know how to utilize that cash, how to utilize the property. Everything belongs to Krishna. You give everything to me. I'll utilize everything in Krishna's service. This is the difference between a devotee and a pretender. Pretender don't know what to do. See, just another example I'll say. For example, you get a money purse on the road. A decent person, what he does? There's somebody sells property. I shouldn't touch that. What will you do? He'll just give up and move. But a sinner or a thief, what he does? He just takes that money purse. But a real intelligent, what he does? He takes the money purse. He sees who's it. Is there any address or any photo or any entry he'll see? And he'll just go and give to him. My dear sir, you have lost this purse on the road. Please take it. Isn't it? Yes. He's a real renunciant. I hope you all understood. The whole creation belongs to the Supreme Lord. And we are his servants. So whatever is there, he has given for us. Enjoy it. But offering to him. Clear? Anyhow, going back further, you'll know this. Karmendriyani samyamya ya aste manasa smaran Indriyarthan vimoodatma mityachara sa uchyate. One who restrains the senses of action, but whose mind dwells on sense objects, certainly deludes himself and is called a pretender. Having all the desires within the heart and just showing off as if I am very renunciant, wearing the saffron dress, wearing a big tilak and some vibhuti, having rudrakshi on the neck and many things, just for a show off. Today we see so many Swamijis, how their life is, how they are utilizing their, what I can say, disciples or the same, having a illegal relationships or utilizing somebody's property in this way. Why is this? It's all false renunciation. And we are trapped into this. A real renunciant, no need that he should have a saffron dress, but he'll be the real servant of the Lord, who's serving the Lord. Like Srila Prabhupada. He was just a menial servant of his spiritual master. His spiritual master had ordered him to go and preach in the Western countries. Just at the age of 70 years, he went and did that. He is a real guru, not pretenders. So we should have some knowledge to whom to accept as our spiritual master. Now the real topic comes here, real renunciation. Yajñartat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha tadartam karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. Actually, Bhagavad Gita, what it teaches us, not about living. Somebody will think, when we take up Bhagavad Gita, we have to give up this, you have to give up that, you have to leave this. Nothing to believe. It is about living, how to live our life. Bhagavad Gita teaches the secrets. Krishna says, Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam Pavitramidamuttamam Pratyakshavagamam Dharmyam Susukam Kartumavyam. He just reveals the secrets of life. That is Bhagavad Gita. You can see, work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Clear? Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Any work, let it be. If you are doing without as an offering, it is only a bondage to us. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction, and in that way you will always remain free from bondage. You'll be free from all the bondage. Even charity, even sometimes we think, oh, this is bad, this is good. No differentiation like that. Anything you do, any activity, sitting and standing also, it should be offering to the Lord. I'll say a small story to understand better. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a story of Nuga Maharaj. Nuga Maharaj, even there is a place now near Dwaraka somewhere. You can just go and see there. So this person was such a great person. In his charity, it is said that in Srimad Bhagavatam, how many dust particles are there in this universe? So many cows he has given as charity to the Brahmanas. Such a great charitable person was this Nuga Maharaj. So one day what happened? So how he'll give the cows, He gives thousands and lakhs of cows to one Brahmana, decorating with a silken cloth and horn and with the silver ankles to the legs of the cows. In this way, he gives the charity. So one day one Brahmana came asking for a cow. Then the king said, why one cow, my dear Brahmana? You can take 100 cows, 1 lakh I'll give you. He said, my Brahmana, I need 1 cow. I'll be satisfied with it. Okay, fine. He got a good cow. He gave in a charity and that person. So these animals have one tendency, Once if they leave for grazing, usually to which house it was going every day, it will go to the same house. So on that day has left for grazing. That cow, what it did, after when it was getting dawn, it was getting a little darker. It went to the kingdom, to the king's palace, Goshala, where it was, it went away there. And this Brahmana is searching, where is my cow, where is my cow? Next day morning, what happened? Another Brahmana came to the king and he also asked for 1 cow. So he gave, see, this is a mistake happened by the king. He brought the same cow. Once again, he gave in charity to the other Brahmana. And he was holding this cow and going on the way. This first Brahmana saw and he caught hold of it. You are a thief, stealing my cow. He said, no. Now only I'm taking this cow as a charity from the king. That first person said, no. Yesterday itself, he has given this cow in charity to me. Both went to the king for a solution for this. Then the king understood, yes, this is a mistake from my part. Then he said, sorry, my dear Brahmana, for the first Brahmana, he said, I will give you 1 lakh cows in return to this one cow. Please give up that. He said, I'm a Brahmana. I'm not a beggar. If you are giving something more to accept, no, no, no. What I have received in charity, it is my rightful thing. Only that cow I need. He went for the second Brahmana, requesting. The second Brahmana also said the same thing. I'm a pure Brahmana. Other than my charity, I'll not touch anything. Small incidents, He displeased these two Brahmanas just for that sake. For the next life, he became a lizard in the dry, old, in a dry well. He, as a lizard, he lived for a life of many, many thousands of years in that well because he was a great personality. What happened? This was at the time of Krishna's pastime. His grandchildren were playing with the ball, and the ball fell in the this thing well. They went called Krishna. There's a big lizard in our well. He came and just the lizard. Then the lizard took the real form of this Sruga Maharaj, and by the mercy of Krishna, it was liberated. This is another story. But what will happen to us? What is the understanding of this story? Even if we are a great charitable person, we will be thinking that, oh, I'm running a free school, I'm giving so much of food or so many meals, I'm sacrificing so many things I'm doing. Everything is a bondage. You think this is bad and this is good. No, everything is a bondage without Krishna. Without leading a life without as a devotee of the Lord or for his pleasure. If it is anything for my pleasure, it's only a bondage to me. Okay, in the 5th chapter, you will come to Punya Karma and Papa Karma. Oh, no, tomorrow only you'll be knowing all this. And this is a question to all. I hope you'll get a poll for this. I'll answer this in the end. Free will. Krishna has given the free will to everyone. We can have our decisions. We can take our choice. And the destiny is our choice. Here now you can see this goat has been tied with a rope to the tree. Now my question is, whose decision is this to stand here? Is this the goat's decision or the Lord's decision? Is it God's decision or the goat's decision? What do you think? So I hope Rajaprabhu will be sending the poll to you. You can answer to this. In the end, we'll have a discussion on this. Okay. Now, regulated activity. Another important, this is a turning point of our life. Okay. Yagna Shishnashina Santo Muchante Sarvakil Vishaihe Munjate Te Vagagam Papa Te Pachanti Atmakarana. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins. Somebody will be thinking, hey, Lord is partial. He's removing all the sins of the devotees. Yes. Why? Should know the answer also. Because Krishna says, they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. They use the food, the preparation for the Lord's sacrifice, for the Lord's. Just go back little in your life. Think something about your parents or your grandparents. You can just see that. In the house, they used to prepare and offer to the Lord. In my house, it was happening. In those days, every day they used to give. And they were degrading day after day. Then what happened? It became only on weekdays. Every Saturday, let us offer. Then what happened? Then it came for festivals. Only on festivals offering to the Lord. And today what has happened? We are so miserly person, so selfish. We don't offer anything to the Lord. We eat only for our sense gratification. Clear? That's what Krishna says here. Others, what are they doing? Who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment. I'm reading once again, please attentively here. Who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment, verily eat only sin. Clear? They eat only papa, only the sin they are eating. Just imagine from our birth, how many days, how much we have eaten, and how much sin are we eating. How much are we binded in this world now? How many lifetimes should I take to get liberated? Okay, how to come out of it? There should be a solution. And I have a solution for this. Are everyone ready to do that? Or hope? Only intelligence will accept. Others are nothing. So many days I'm eating now. Also, I eat. What is there wrong in it? They think. Yes. From today, you start offering to the Lord. 1 glass of milk. I'll come to the next levels. How to do what to do. From today, at least from tomorrow morning, 1 glass of water and some fruits if it's possible. And please don't keep with the peel, the banana keeping like that only. No, that is a different kind of offering. But here with love you're giving. Your banana, take out the peel, cut. In a new plate or a good plate with where it is not juta, where you are not eating in that plate, such kind of a plate, little bit of fruit or 1 glass of milk, where that glass also should be a good glass, not a juta glass, that keep in front of the Lord with 1 tulsi. From today, you practice this. Start offering. This is how you'll have an intimate relationship with the Lord. Lord will be very pleased by this. You start this from today. I hope everyone have 1 glass of milk, I think. Don't say that I don't have that. As we say, no time for hearing this. Now, please don't waste your life. Offer 1 fruit. But every day offer this. And that prasadam, keep for 10 minutes in front of the Lord, not for a whole day. Keep for 10 minutes. How long do you want to eat that? That much of time. 10 minutes you keep, and from there you take that prasadam with whole family. Whoever is in the house, take that milk and the fruit. Okay, you practice this from today. And in the sadhana report also, I'll see that you'll be getting the same thing. So the report will be Naivedya, it will come. You say yes or no. Okay. Yes. Now, yoga ladder. See, we don't have much time to spend there. So just we'll go fast. Then here you can see the karmas, karma kanda, and sakama karma yoga. By doing these activities, and Vedic system is such wonderful, it has been designed to us. See, Vedic system is designed in such a way that we begin somewhere, wherever we are, we climb towards the perfection. See, we are all, don't feel bad. Even I was, how you are all were there. Same how my life also was there. Living a life of a demon. Always only eat for my person, being a selfish person. Once getting to this Bhagavad Gita, will understand what is the purpose of human life. Then we start developing. In that way, everyone having their own situations. One is karma kandi, one is this thing, what I can say, karmi, in that many ways. But you can just come to the level of sakama karma yoga. Here you can see those who are after sense gratification but do not follow the Vedic injunctions. So many days we don't know what is Veda, what is scriptures, nothing. We've not had anything in our life. Now, by the mercy of a guru, of a pure devotee or some devotee, on the Krishna's desire, it is coming to us. This message is reaching to us. Now, regulated sense gratification. Now we should try to offer to the Lord anything. First, let me take prasadam, then only I'll have anything other than that prasadam. This is how our life should start regulating and cultivating. Clear? Then sakama karma yoga, attached to the fruits of work and work itself. Yes, still we have attachments. We are not come to perfect stage, but definitely we will come to the perfect stage. At least we have entered the school. Now we'll start progressing in our education. The same way, small kid doesn't want to read, you don't want to be playful. The same way, we also want to be playful in this material world and getting binded. Now we are getting some knowledge. Let us regulate our senses by starting with offering a glass of milk and fruit and taking that as prasadam. Then whatever we prepare for our sense gratification, we can have. Clear? Yes. And you can see this, how our life changes, how this happens. Krishna is saying here, yad yad acharati shreshtas tat tat eva tarochanaha sayat pramanam kurute lokas tadanu vartate. Whatever action a great man performs, common men follow. It's very clear. Whatever father does, child will see. Whatever mother does, he just watches that and do that. Same thing. For example, a father is smoking the cigarette and he says to his child, hey, smoking is injurious. It is bad to health. You don't smoke. What the kid does, what the child will do. Okay, father. But outside he'll go, he'll smoke and he'll come because He's learning from the Father. So it begins from us. First, many parents, they'll be thinking, oh, some or the other, my child should become good. Put him into some school, good school. What is the use of it? You are seeing here this family, husband and wife, they're sitting and doing some kirtan. Even children are joining. They are getting some mridanga and kartal. They are also doing kirtan. How we lead the life, the same how our children will do. Be a responsible parents. Don't think that if I join them to some school or some hostel, something they'll become good. No, they just see the parents. Clear? Okay. And whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. And here, Krishna is explaining about the great personalities. And the great personalities, here all the head of the state or the teachers, guru. In those days, we had Gurukula. Gurukula, wonderful concept, The family, husband and wife, they're teaching as exemplary. The Gurukula, the disciples who are coming, they're seeing them with education, they're experimenting the gurus. They're seeing their life and they're leading. Isn't it? Guru and Guru Patni, they see how to lead a life, how it is. And today, to have one teacher like this who's teaching as an exemplary, we don't even find in the students also, the teachers also. Having illicit relationships with the students. What kind of teachers are they? And some lady teacher comes, this, what I can say, the boys sitting there just throw the rockets on her. They don't have any such kind of, that she is my teacher. Only kama, only lust, nothing other than that. Which direction are we going now? What is the solution for all this? Are you all thinking that? In those days, how they were respectful and how today it is going on? What kind of a life are we leading? And forget about head of the states. No need to speak about politicians. But someone, we are fortunate. We are getting at least one good king by as our prime minister. Something good is happening. Some religious thing is happening. We should be very grateful to him. Grateful to him. If so many years has been lost, giving our state or our country in a demon's hand, in this asura's hand, we are getting day by day getting degraded. So whom should we follow? How the leader is there, the same way, the ethics is more important. And you can see here, choose your leader carefully. Not only leader, even the guru. Whom should we choose? Use the principles taught by the Gita to identify a proper teacher. How to identify a teacher? As I said in the very first class, because the most important thing is a person, if you are hearing from some person, first thing to be noted is whether he is having a spiritual master. That is it. Yes, he is under a spiritual master's guidance and he is the servant of that spiritual master, definitely is qualified to be my guru. That is it. Remember, only a proper student can become a proper teacher. And today we see so many societies and so many people coming out, emerging like anything. I am a great personality. My dear sir, who is your spiritual master? I don't have any spiritual master. Directly from heaven I have fallen. And without having this knowledge, we go and surrender to them. For Pada Puja, so much of thing, 25,000 rupees for Pada Puja. To coming to house, 1 lakh we have to give. Who do you think that they are all spiritual masters and something good will happen by them? And they are making something cash out of our ignorance. Nothing else is happening here. And we think if he comes to my house will become bright. No. Guru is something like Srila Prabhupada. See this Westerners. When Srila Prabhupada went to Western world, they accepted him. They accepted him. What happened? Actually, there are mlechas. Mlechas means the worst of the worst there. They were druggatists. They were taking drugs. They were drinks and smoking and womanizers. All the bad habits of the whole world they had. But they accepted a guru, qualified, bona fide Guru Srila Prabhupada. Then their lives transformed like anything. And today, they are great, great sannyasis, great Maharajs. And they are guiding lakhs and millions of disciples. How their life transformed. Take my master, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj was an American. Just by the order of his spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, he came to Bengal, took the citizen of India. In those days, everyone were laughing at him because everyone going to US, but he came to India and took the citizen of India. And he learned Bengal. He was such a struggle. And the Indians were giving him so many problems. He accepted everything happily because that was the order of his spiritual master. And today is a great personality. Thousands and thousands of his disciples they just wait for his darshan. Even our life. However, the sinners, we are not a problem. Accept a bona fide spiritual master. Execute in our life the instructions of Krishna and Guru. That is sufficient. There are many of us, many of this our material world who are cheaters, wanted to cheat us. And only wanted to be cheated, they go to the cheaters. Who are intelligent enough, definitely they'll not go to this people. And here you can see there are many wolves among us, acting as a sheep so that it can eat us. So a small story I'll say to understand how fools are we. We I said, not you, we. That means including me. So once what happened, there was a person, he has shaved his head, he was wearing a black dress and he was crying. His friend came. My dear friend, what happened? He was not in a situation to say also, he was just crying. He said, okay, let me pacify my friend. So he also shaved his head, wore black dress, and he was sitting. And his friend came. Let us, one after the other, one after the other. And the king and minister came to roaming to this thing, to see the city. Half of the city, everyone has shaved their head, putting a black dress, and they're all crying. The king asked, what has happened? You go and ask. And this person said, no, my friend has shaven his head. So he went in a reverse way. And he asked, hey, my friend is doing this. Okay, my friend. Last he came for this person, the very first person. Why are you crying? No, 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 no. I'm in a very sorrow mood, so I'm crying. No, please let me know what happened because the whole city has shaven their head and they're crying. He said, Mera pyara gada mar gaya. Circle Singh was the name of that gada, that donkey. My lovely donkey has dead, so I'm crying. And the minister said, just for a donkey, the whole city has been shaven their head and they're crying. This is our situation. Blindly going and following someone without having the common sense whether that person is a qualified person to be surrendered. One thing you make a note, whomever you are going to surrender, you should have a spiritual master and he should be a humble slave. I'm not even using the word servant. You should be a slave of that spiritual master. Clear? Yes. See, my job is to give you the education, give the knowledge. Beyond that, it is your decision to take. Yeah. And Mai Sarvani Karmani Sanyasya Yatma Chetasa Nirashir Nirmamo Bhutva Yudhyaswa Vigatachwara. Therefore, now Krishna is instructing to Arjuna. Therefore, oh Arjuna, surrendering all your works unto me with full knowledge of me, without desires for profit, with no claims to proprietorship, and free from lethargy, fight. Do your responsibility. After hearing all this, don't become a lazy person. Don't think I don't have any responsibility. Everything belongs to Krishna. No. Do your responsibility, but without proprietorship, without ownership on that. And this is what, see, by hearing this knowledge, I could regain all my, this thing, what I can say, past days. In those days, some workers used to come to my house, for some cleaning, or they'll have this, what I can say, this Gadapari and these things. All they used to come. And some cleaning work is there, we used to give to them. And they used to clean from morning to evening. We used to give them morning breakfast, we used to give afternoon lunch. And while going also, we'll give them the dinner prasadam. They will eat to their full stomach. And later part, we'll ask, how much to give to you? He says, your wish, sir. Whatever you wish, you can give. They lived the life of Bhagavad Gita, instructions of Krishna. They were not expecting anything. You're able to understand? They were not expecting anything. We say they are fools. No. They're great personalities. They did not had any expectation. They did their job. Then your wish. And today, the same work, we want to have some cleaning or anything, we go and approach them. Just for 1 hour work. How much you're going to pay? 2,000 rupees. There will be so much of bargain. Just for 1 hour work, they'll ask 2,000 rupees. You're able to understand? This is our life. And those days, even simple, another example I'll say you. We used to purchase some vegetables or fruits. What would happen later? After giving 1 kilo of vegetables, for example, carrot we buy, 1 kilo of carrot they'll give, and they'll take 1 or 2 carrot and they'll give us. We call this as kosuru, something extra they used to put. They were living the life of Bhagavad Gita. They doesn't want to bind it in our money. They wanted to give something more than what is to be given, because they know what is dangerous, how they get binded here. And today what is happening? They don't even give 1 kilo properly. I'm a market person, I know. This 1 kilo stone is there, they'll start rubbing it so that it should become 50 grams less. Then, cheating is happening. We started giving this digital scales. Now they have a remote also. If somebody is keeping 10 kilos, by the remote, they'll make it as 9 kilos. Or they'll make it as 11 kilos. Now, the prime duty of us is to cheat. A greater cheater is a greater winner. That is the principle we are having now. And because of our foolishness, we don't know how much we are binding in this material world. Here, many things to say. Let us go further. Why perform your prescribed duty and not others? Another important point here. Steadiness, social organizing, natural pushing. Do your duty. Don't pretend or don't imitate others. The most important thing here, Krishna says, Shreyan swadharmo viguna paradharma swanushthipat swadharme nidhanam shreya paradharmo bhayava. It's dangerous to perform others' duty. It is far better to discharge one's prescribed duties, even though faultily. This is what it comes the Varnashrama. Tomorrow, anyhow, I'll say this. Than another's duty perfectly. It is very simple. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. A Brahmana should be a Brahmana. Shudra should be a Shudra. Just to understand this better, I'll give a small example. In those days, to go to some houses and you ask, he says that the servant who's in that house will say, my father was a servant of his father. My grandfather was a servant to his grand. Have you heard this? In olden days, this was the system. A person, I can say, they were so sincere in their work. And they had not had any such kind of thing. How should I cheat them? How should I take something from them? No. They were sincerely doing their service and having the faith. And those days, and we call them as Shudras, Sometimes we think Shudras, the lowest of all, you think. Please understand, we are qualified to be Shudras also. Forget about Brahmanas. We are not qualified to be Shudras also. Shudras had so much of faith. The master, whenever he goes somewhere outside, he will give the whole key punch to the servant. And in the pilgrimage, also somebody will ask, hey, you are such a great rich person, you have come, give up everything. Says, my servant is there. Faithful person. Today, on whom can we have this faith? We don't know who is going to cheat us. One small shop will be having, if you teach the business to that person, the next day, you'll open another shop just right opposite to us. Even in the companies, what is happening? They'll be with us till learning their job. After that, they'll start their own job. No faith. That means unqualified to be a Shudra also. And many will be thinking, many raise the question, why Shudra should be always a Shudra? Brahmana should be always a Brahmana. Because we don't know the concept of Brahmana and Shudra. Krishna says, Chaturvarnya Maya Sushtam Guna Karma Vibhagasha. I am the creator of this. So Krishna's creation cannot be wrong. And this division is made on Guna Karma, not Janma Karma. Brahmana son be a Brahmana. only by the qualities. The 18th chapter, Krishna says, Samo Damasya Shaucham, like 9 qualities are there. We're all having these 9 qualities, he'll be qualified to be a Brahmana. And a person with faithful service to the master is Shudra. And today we don't have that. Destruction in the course of performing one's own duty is better than another's duty to follow another's path is. I hope how far you read this. So I'll give a small story to. Okay. Once, veterinary hospital. What is this? So there was a veterinary hospital. Doctor was there and a compounder was there. So one great rich person brought his horse. That horse. So he brought the horse and he requested this doctor, my dear doctor, I purchased this horse giving lakhs and lakhs of rupees. And from 3 days, it is not eating anything. Please see what has happened. So you'll check everything. You'll say this compounder to get a hammer. The compounder gets a hammer. He just taps on the neck of the horse. Later part, the horse started eating grass. The master was very happy. The owner of the horse, he gave 10,000 rupees to him. Just by tapping that hammer, he gave 10,000 rupees and he went. And this compounder is watching everything. Just by tapping this hammer, he's giving 10,000. Then for the whole month, I'm working under him and he's giving only 2,000 rupees salary to me. Why should we handle it? I'll have my own veterinary hospital. He opened another veterinary hospital. His treatment is only one. What is that? Take a hammer, tap. That is it. So the next day, one person came with a dog. My dear doctor, this dog is not eating. The dog is suffering from fever. What small treatment come? He took a hammer, he tapped on the throat of the dog. The dog fell dead. And one more person came with a cat. Then what is the problem? No need to say the problem also. You come here. He took the hammer, tapped on the throat. That cat also died. Then the whole village has started chasing this person. He came running to this doctor. My dear doctor, please save me. What happened? He said, see, whenever you do something, you treat the animals, they pay you rewards for it. But I treat, they're chasing me, beating. Why is this? He said, what did you do? He said, he explained everything. Then he said, my dear fool, that horse had swallowed some lemon, watermelon or something, it has been swallowed. It has been stuck in the throat. I tapped with the hammer, so it be cleared. Now it is eating. You cannot imitate everything. So doctor should be a doctor. Compounder should be a compounder. Understood? Yes, the same compounder can do MBBS. He can take the training. Then he can become a doctor. Without having qualities, without having the qualities of a Brahmana, you cannot claim a Brahmana. Brahmana is a person who is an intelligent person. Today, what is happening? Brahmanas are taking the Shudras role. Simple thing. Doctors, lawyers, or engineers, intellectual persons are Brahmanas. Very clear. For example, a Brahmana takes the role of a Shudra. What happens? Today, you can see our hospitals. They are all Brahmanas, intellectual persons. What now they are doing? They have made these hospitals as a business. Vaidyo Narayana, they say, doctors are the form or the transformation of the Lord is equivalent to the Lord because they're saving the life. And those days, doctors were not charging you. They say how much ever you want to, because they did that as a service, as their duty. And today, it has become a business because the Brahmanas have taken the role of a Shudra. Clear? No. See, I'm giving only example of a doctor. Don't think all the doctors are like that. No. You take any court, any lawyer, any person, everyone have been corrupted. Clear? So, go according to our gunas. Yes. That's what here Krishna is saying. Arjuna asks it for us. He is asking one more question here. A question that pops in all our mind. Even though I know the best course of action, but what is that? impels me to act improperly and against my good intelligence? Can you guess the answer? Can you all guess? See, after hearing this Bhagavad Gita, everything, now I have some knowledge. I want to do something good. Now I'll be thinking this 1 hour. After this, tomorrow, as usual. Why is this happening? This alarm, you can see. I'll give this example for our morning sessions, but this is evening session. I can't give that example. Mornings, they wanted to attend the class. It's at 6 o'clock. They'll have an alarm. 5:45 alarm. That 5:45 alarm, they'll tap. Just for 5 minutes, I'll sleep. And by the time they wake up, it will be 8 o'clock. Oh, session has been 7 o'clock. Session has been completed. And okay, tomorrow let me try. That tomorrow also will be the same problem. Tap on the alarm, sleep for another 1 hour. Why is this? Some our intelligence is saying to wake up, but still we are not happening. Why? Krishna answers. Enemy of the soul is lust. Anyhow, we studied this yesterday only. Dhyayata Vishayan Pamsa Sangat Sanjayate Kama. Without knowledge, what it happens? All our desires transforms to lust. Once it is transformed to lust, there is no satisfaction. One, it transforms to anger, wrath, or it transforms to greed. If you satisfy, it becomes greed. If you don't fulfill the desire, it becomes transforms to wrath. Kamayesha Krodaye Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Kamayesha Krodayesha Rajo Dinas Samudbhavaha Mahashano Mahapapma Vidyena Miha Vairinam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material mode of passion and later transformed into wrath, and which is the all-devouring sinful enemy of this world. The desire is so dangerous. That is what it is binding us. And you know, each and every desire which we are desiring without our knowledge transforms to lust, and that lust is stored in our mind. And just to fulfill that desire, we have to take millions of lifetimes. Yesterday I was giving the example of some sari or something. For example, you have a desire of a sari, which is very costly, and that has been transformed to lust, you think. It is stored in our heart. For next many lifetimes, when I have a situation to buy, that desire will be fulfilled, and I have to take many lifetimes for that, to fulfill that desire. So it is just binding me like anything, and it is only the lust. And this lust is in many grades, and in many levels it is. And Krishna says here, 3 coverings of lust: fire covered by smoke, mirror covered by dust, embryo covered in womb. It is, for example, the example of a human being. Yes, we have very subtle thing. You can very easily understand this. Very easily. It's something like fire, which is covered with the smoke. Once you give a good wind to it, it comes out. Once we just plan that I should become a Krishna conscious person, from tomorrow I should be a devotee, I'll be a perfect human being, we can become. But here, mirror covered by dust, it is something like animals. We cannot understand even what is life. Can a dog understand Bhagavad Gita? Can a cat understand? No. Because their lust level has been increased. And what is the third one? Embryo covered in womb. It cannot freely shake his hands and legs also. That is the position of trees and mountains. It is having its life, but no consciousness. Yes, it is. There is consciousness, but it is very light, very small, very minute consciousness. Even you cut the tree, it cannot oppose. It cannot restrict. That is the situation. And do you know one thing? How this is becoming? Just think you are applying something to your body. And the lust is the desire. You are applying more and more, more and more. Then this becomes very thin. So our next life will be animalistic life. If it becomes more than that, then our consciousness is becoming day by day, it is shrinking. And those days they were happily living, even by earning little bit of amount also. They were very happy. Now we have so much of earnings also, we are not happy. Why? Because we are becoming selfish. And those days they were selfless. I gave the example in the very beginning, one story. He's very happy. The renunciant were happy. But we don't know what is life. We are selfish. We think that having a big house, I'll be happy. Having a big car, I'll be happy. No, happiness doesn't come from the material things. Happiness comes from within. And that is when you have close relationship with the Lord, with Supreme Lord, with the super soul, Krishna as Paramatma sitting in the heart. When we are very near to him, our happiness is there. When you are getting more far to him, we don't have that happiness. In those days, they had that relationship with the Lord. With each and every material things, they were able to see Krishna. They were able to see the real proprietor of it. So they had that gratitude. We have our festivals. There are many things to say. Time is not permitting. The festivals, Sankranti, they do. What is that? Showing the gratitude to the nature, showing gratitude to the Lord. Hey, getting everything, all the grains and putting and doing a festival. Everything has come by your mercy. And those days, by this, what was happening, the nature used to reciprocate, How it used to reciprocate? In those days, rains, there were so many kinds of rains. There are 13 varieties of rains. Mungaru male, bittana bele, tunturu male. Have you heard these things? The rain used to be in so many varieties. Why? It was their happy life. They used to go to the paddy field or anything, keep the seed and come. Before that, there is a rain and everything has been moistened. They keep the seed and come. And the rain used to come only in the nights. And there was Bittanemare because they kept the seed. It is called Bittanemare. It is just used to come very light. Then after that, when it sprouts, this Tunturu Male. And today, only tsunami. Nothing else. Everything is washed out. We don't even see such kind of rain today. The nature also is reciprocating the same way as we are reciprocating to them. If we don't have gratitude, how much more we are becoming selfish, the nature is also becoming so much selfish to itself. This is how Lord reciprocates to us. Okay, now let us come to the topic. Lust never satisfied. We all know this. Avruttam jnanam etena jnanino nityavairina kamarupena kaunteya dushpurena chalena cha. Thus, the wise living entity's pure consciousness becomes covered by his eternal enemy in the form of lust, which is never satisfied and which burns like fire. It starts burning us like anything because our desires are there. Yesterday, I was giving the example of a sari. And when the husband says, no, I cannot get, what happens? Unnecessary quarrel, isn't it? She will not give proper breakfast and everything she starts throwing. And yesterday also we saw the result of one anger. We are spoiling our life by this lust. That is why in those days they say, be happy in what we have. How much mat is there? So much you have to stretch our legs. Be happy in what we have. We don't have that. We want to say acquire what is not there in us. Okay, now the lust, we understood this is the real enemy of us. How to overcome this? Once you know the enemy, you should be ready to fight. It's here. The enemy is lust. Battle first, the plan, what is it? Finding where it is. So where is the lust now? It's sitting in 3 places. It is senses, mind, and intelligence. It is sitting on the 3 places. How to defeat now? Which is the most subtle and the grossest thing we should understand. Intelligence is very subtle, but the senses are gross. So very easily we can control the senses. Here, the senses, the mind and the intelligence are the sitting places of the lust. Through them, lust covers the real knowledge of the living entity and bewilders him. Now every decision goes on our desire. All our plan, all our decision goes on our desires. We don't have any knowledge. In those days, knowledge was the prime, desire was the next. Now, desire is primary thing and knowledge, no need to speak of knowledge because we don't have any knowledge. We have knowledge of material knowledge, but there's no knowledge of the life. That's what Prabhupada asks when he goes to America. You have so many universities for the material things, but where is the university for the soul? To acquire the soul knowledge, what university do you have? What's the use of life? Then, defeat the enemy. How to defeat it? Regulate the senses, because it is the grossest. Senses are easiest to control because they are the grossest. A little brush on the yesterday's chapter. You know that? Dhyayato Vishayan. Before going to the mall, decide I need 1 kilo of rice. That is it. I'll go there, purchase, and come. Very clear, complete knowledge. Sense objects, contemplate, develop attachment, lust. Unnecessarily don't keep on watching other things which is not required to us. This is how we can control our sense. Don't think to eat whatever we see. First think whether can we offer it to the Lord. Yes, then offer to the Lord. Then take that. Not only it becomes pure, it becomes even divine. Clear. The third, defeat the enemy by knowledge. Strengthen the intelligence by chanting, hearing, reading, discussing, and applying Shastras. Simple. See these kids. See the small kid holding the chanting bag and sitting there. Beautifully, they're chanting. Their life is so perfect. This is a small kid having this mridanga. The small age they start. But actually, they watch their parents and do this. And we ourselves are not in this line. However, our children will learn this. But we wanted our children to take a good life. What good life are we giving? Giving them the wealth? Or one day is sufficient for them to lose everything, all our wealth, if we don't give them the ethics. And make them to understand what is life, what is the purpose of human life. That is sufficient. That is the greatest wealth you are giving to them. Give them Bhagavad Gita. That is sufficient. They can lead their own life. If you don't give that, and other than that, anything you give, it's only a waste. Yeah. Now, follow the ABCD formula. What is this formula? A for association with right sattvic people. Associate with the devotees who are leading a life of dharmic life, or living a life of ethics. Associate with such kind of people. If you be associate with a drunkard, what happens? One or the other day, he'll make you drunkard. He'll teach you. This is how you have to go to the bath. This is how you have to drink. This is how you have to do. The same way you just associate with a devotee. Even if you don't become a devotee, he will teach. You're not chanting. This is how you have to chant. This is how you have to offer to the Lord. This is how let us go to the temple. If you associate with a sinner, he'll say, let us go to a bar, let us go to a movie or both or something. He will correct you. Associate with a pure person, with a devotee, that is sufficient. Your life gets transformed. Then B, books. Read Bhagavad Gita regularly. Every day read. If you're not able to read Bhagavad Gita, then Srila Prabhupada's many small books are there. So buy that. It's all costing very less also. Around 30 rupees, 40 rupees, 50 rupees, something in small books. Purchase it. Read every day. Every day you are giving something input to the intelligence. You develop, intelligence starts. Intelligence don't have any other work other than bifurcating. It just decides yes or no, that is it. Once there is a knowledge, it decides rightly. Yes, this I need, I don't need. And what is the job of the mind? Mind, it's only a storage. It's storage. When there is opportunity, it just pops out. That's it. Yeah, chanting the names of the Lord. I hope everyone are chanting. Without chanting, definitely no Bhagavad Gita also. It's of no use. Without chanting, if you're trying to understand Bhagavad Gita, it becomes only a material knowledge. You cannot have any transformation and you cannot even understand the right purpose of Bhagavad Gita. Clear? Then diet, watch what you eat. Today you have something in your plate, a dinner prasadam. See this, whether it's a sin or prasadam. What we are eating. Watch before you eat. Have you offered it to the Lord? Or else at least you have showed your gratitude. Thanks to the Lord. This, what you very easy. In coming days, I'll explain more. But now, timing, only a glass of milk and a fruit be offered to them. Okay. Now, in third chapter, what did we see? TREE under the acronym tree. Tyaga, the very first thing is regulating our senses. That is by Tyaga, renunciation. Come with real renunciation is not giving up the activities, by giving up the fruits of the activities, the results of the activities. Yeah, and regulating the senses. So just before doing some activity, understand whether is it sinful activity or no. What I'm eating, what I'm doing, everything. Is it really dharmic? Is it religious? Is it good for me? Is it good for the nation? Is it good for everyone? Just watch this. Then exemplary. To know this, definitely we need a guru. So take the shelter of a guru. And that guru should be a bona fide guru. That means he should have a spiritual master. But it's very clear. See, knowledge is very clear. Only thing, how do we understand? And finally, Krishna says, our real enemy is not our neighbors. The real enemy is our lust, which is sitting within us, sitting on the senses, mind, and intelligence. So be very careful how to handle it. And you can come out of this lust only by knowledge. Yeah. Yes. So what is tomorrow? Tomorrow is another important chapter. It is transcendental knowledge. Divine knowledge. Krishna is revealing something more. He says, because Arjuna, you are my dear friend. I'm giving more knowledge, I'm revealing more secrets to you. So eternal knowledge, accurate understanding, reactionless, karma, and surrender. And tomorrow, many misunderstandings will be revealed to us about this Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and those things, and how to worship. Whatever you worship, whatever you do, the result will be the same. Many things are there nowadays. All these misconceptions will be removed in tomorrow's chapter. Okay. And now we have a quiz link. I request everyone to participate in this. Now let us chant once Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Naham tishtami vaikunte yoginam hridayeshu va tatra tishtami narada yatra gayanti matbhaktaha. Please hear to this attentively. What the Supreme Lord Krishna is saying to Narada Muni. Saying, I am not in Vaikuntha. He is saying to Narada. Narada is asking, where should I come to meet you? He is saying, I am not in Vaikuntha, nor in the hearts of the yogis. Yogis are sitting and meditating on me for many, many yugas. Still, I am not there in their heart. But where am I? I remain where my devotees engage in glorifying my activities. When you just start chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Krishna is just sitting next to us. He's residing in our heart. He's just dancing on our tongue because we are chanting the holy names of the Lord. I'm just having this smallest of the small attitude that I should become your devotee. Not devotee also, I've never become devotee. Small attitude. Desire that I should become devotee with a humble mood, chanting the holy names of the Lord. He resides in our heart. He just dances on our tongue. And he's saying, Narada, wherever my glorification is happening, I'll be there. As I was seeing the picture of that family, and if as a family you start doing this kirtan, which I was showing, you can do every day in your house. Sit with the whole family, with the kids, everything. Jai Radha Madhav, Hare Krishna. You just tap your hands and do. That means personally Krishna is there. Krishna is there means all the 33 crore devatas, everyone are sitting there next to the Lord. Here, the house becomes a temple. It becomes a pilgrimage place just by chanting and doing kirtan in our house. Okay. Thank you. This is our Lakshmi Narasimhadev and Gandharvika Giridhara. And this is our HPR layout, ISKCON temple. Now, any questions, please do raise the hands. Meanwhile, let us see some announcements from Chandrasekhar. Okay, Hare Krishna. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for your wonderful explanation. We'll quickly see the report, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Before that, I think this poll result, Prabhu, regarding that question.
Yes. So many are saying here, how many? 40% are saying God's decision, 60% are saying God's decision. Right? Absolutely right. What is the answer, Both are right. It is God's decision and it is God's decision. So you should understand this. How? See, actually, there is a rope. The length of the rope is the God's decision. He has given the independence. And in the limits of the length of the rope, wherever the goat stands, it is the goat's decision. Understood? Yes. That means how much you are surrendering to the Lord, so much independence becomes more. The length of the thread becomes more. I'll give a small example to understand this better. For example, have you seen some cows? It is something without any rope. And some cows, you see, there is some rope within the nose. And some cows, you can see, the master will be tied the nose rope to the legs. Why is that? Why that difference is? First cow, which is without any rope, no, it is very obedient to the master. Whatever the master says, it obeys accordingly. And in the evening, it comes back to the house. So there's no need to tie that cow. This is very obedient. And some cow is a little bit arrogant, not obedient. So he'll put a nose thread and he ties it so that he can drag it. And some cows are very ferocious. What he does, he ties the nose thread to the legs. It cannot even walk properly. It limps and moves. Understanding? And our master is Krishna. If we are very, very obedient to him, accepting Bhagavad Gita, our independence gets increased like Narada Muni. Narada Muni can go to all the three worlds. He is not having any limitations, no barriers to him. And our independence is decreasing. Now, if I want to go out of my country also, I need visa and passport. Isn't it? Yes, if you become more and more selfish, more and more not obeying the orders of the Lord, you get shrink in your own thing. You get binded more and more. Yeah. Yes. Okay, Prabhu. Next.
So, from when we are going to give a chance to new devotees for chanting, Prabhu?
That I should say yesterday only, I thought. Okay. See, now chanting in the morning, sorry, not mornings. In the very beginning, we chant, So by chanting, if you are practicing in your house, having the chanting beats, turning on the video, if you are able to chant, and you should practice before and note the time. You should chant by 7 minutes, 7 to 8 minutes. If you are able to chant very clearly, pronouncing, then you can give your name to Chandrasekhar Prabhu or Raji Prabhu. So you can chant in the very beginning.
From Monday, we can give chance, Prabhu. Anyway, Saturday, Sunday, there will be.
Yes. Tomorrow, even tomorrow, if they wanted to chant, they can chant.
And we can share our existing devotees' contact details, Prabhu. If they want any help regarding Japa beads or books, they can contact.
Yes. So we have many devotees in all the areas of Karnataka somewhere who are already previous devotees who are joined to the previous batches. So we can give their number also. And not only for need of anything, you can take their help and their guidance also. And you can ask their experience, how are they feeling this Krishna conscious thing. So you'll have more faith in this Krishna consciousness. Okay, yes, Prabhu, you can share that.
Yes, Prabhu. So as per yesterday's details, so 130 devotees attended the session, Prabhu. Out of that, 79 attended the quiz and 43 devotees did the chanting, Prabhu.
Okay, the percentage is fine, but only the decrease in the number is more.
Yeah, attendance also got reduced.
Yeah, that's what attendance is decreasing. So this is also number is decreasing. The percentage is.
Yes.
So here depends, as I was saying the very first today, patience, constant. Without that, we cannot. One day I'll attend, I'll become a great Mahatma. You cannot become. Attending complete 18 days, you'll get complete. It's a package of all the knowledge, like all the varieties you'll get in this. So you'll understand what is life. Then it's in your hands to decide, how should I take up my life? Okay. Yes, fine. We'll go to the questions.
There is only one question, Prabhu. How to, from Shweta.
Yes, Prabhu.
How to deal with people around who are with negativity?
Negativity. Why the negativity is coming? So
I think this is some random question, Prabhu.
Yes, understood. If it was the question was clear, it's fine. Otherwise, also see, this is the nature and the people. Everything is the same. Still, we don't know the concept of understanding it. How I deal, the same. The result comes to me. If I am bad to others, they'll be bad to me. If I'm good to others, they'll be good to me. Sometimes they say, hey, no, even I am good, they are bad to me. That means I'm not so good as they are expecting from me. So that's where the wrong is there. Yeah. Yes. So let us go to the questions. Santosh, you can unmute and turn on your video. And Preeti Mataji also, you can turn on your video.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavad.
Prabhuji, I have three questions. One is with regards to the three words that you mentioned. Would like to know which are the three words, why they are differentiated like that.
3 words, okay. 3 words is the same thing. We have 14 planetary systems, You can see behind me also. There are 14 words. So we are in Bhuloka. Beyond this Bhuloka, it is Bhurloka, then it is Svargaloka. This is called one world. Then from there, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka, all the 4 lokas. The Urdhva lokas we say, that is another loka. And below we have 7 planets. Atala, Vitala, Talatala, Rasatala, Mahatala, Pahatala. This. All that is all one other loka. In this way, 3 lokas. In one Brahmanda, one universe, there are 14 planetary systems. It is divided into 3 portions and it is set as 3 lokas.
Okay.
Yes.
So the second question was for yesterday's class that we discussed. Wherein a word comes that, karpanya dosha, and we say that this is miserly weakness. Now, weakness is understood, Prabhuji, but what is miserly weakness?
Miserly nothing but selfish, Prabhu.
Okay.
Miserly person is not giving anything. For example, even Srila Prabhupada is explaining this. You can read that. So, for example, a miserly person, even you will donate anything. In charity also will not give. You'll be just accumulating. One day will die without using anything.
Right.
Yeah. But if he is not a miser, he knows what is the purpose of that. And he starts at least giving some charity. And he thinks that by saving everything, he is going to take away anything. Nothing is going to take. But at least by giving that charity, some punya he'll be taking, some pious results he'll be taking. But he's a fool, he don't know. He's a miserly person. Should.
Yes.
But in this terminology, he's thinking that I am accumulating more. But actually he's the loser. He's not earning anything. But a person who is just donating everything is earning so much of punya, where he is able to carry forward to his next life.
Right.
Yes.
So the last question was with regards to the 33 koti devatas that we get to hear or we say many times. So I had read it somewhere. Of course, it's on the WhatsApp. I don't know how much of it is correct. It says that it is not 33 crores, but 33 koti means 33 types of the devatas, wherein 12 Adityas.
Both are right, Prabhu.
Okay.
Both are right. That is 33 varieties of devatas, and there are 33 crore devatas also.
Okay.
And in the 9th chapter, I'll explain this. With examples also I'll explain. Just now only I can say that. Just for a small country like India, there is one prime minister and there is so many MPs and there is so many MLAs, so many corporators, so many ministers we have just to take care of one small nation.
Right.
We have a universe with 14 planetary systems, and apart from that, there's so many other things. To take this, how many is required?
Right.
Even in our body, we have 33 crore devatas. Our eye, one eye represents another devata. And when he is not pleased, he will become blind. Okay. So everyone should be pleased. Then only all our parts starts working. In this way, there is a control. To understand this, you need much more knowledge. How the creation started, how the 24 items comes to this material world and how it expands and what all this comes. So no need to break your head for that. But see, one thing you can understand, there's something like Varuna. He takes care of the oceans. Representative for the oceans. He is the controller of it. Rivers and oceans. And the moon god. And there is a rain. Indra is taking care of rain. This everything is being controlled by the devatas. So we need, even I feel 33 crore also is less only. Yes. So both are right. 33 varieties, that is also right. And 33 crore, that is also right. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes. Thanks a lot, Prabhuji. Actually, today's session was as good, it was as lovely and as mesmerizing. I had goosebumps at times when I was listening to you. Thanks a lot, Prabhuji, for those experiences. Thanks a lot. Hare Krishna.
And see, time is also limited, Prabhu. I cannot expand. There's so many things to say. But definitely, when you all continue with us, you have many things to know. But here, only little things here. Fine, Prabhu. Yes, Preeti Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, I'm having 2 questions, okay?
Yes.
This is based on yesterday's discussion that we did have, right? It is about, we are all Atmas. So like us, there are multiple, like millions and millions of Atmas that is available, right? But still finding that same Atma, meeting them in this Janma or in the next Janma, right? It is very difficult also, right? The probability part of it, if you take also, it is very rare, right? It is like 0 or that way it is.
Mataji, can you once again repeat the question? Sorry.
Okay. There are so many millions and millions of Atmas, right?
Yes.
For example, me, if I'm telling my father, meeting my father again in the in this Janma or in the Nema, it is very.
Yes. Now you say, Mataji. Sorry.
Basically, what Mataji is asking, as there are many millions of Atmas are there,
Yes.
so the probability of meeting the same Atma, like for example, if she wants to meet her father as a Atma, so the probability is very rare. Then the following question is, she is yet to say.
So if that happens, right, like that is the thing which is there, right? But still we tell, it is my father, it is my aunt, it is my uncle who is there, who has lived this life. That is that Vyamoha which comes in, right? So it is just that Vyamoha which is there for this this life, and that is why we are getting attached to it and we are suffering.
Okay. Suffering is only simple understanding. Selfish. Me and mine. Swajanam. Yesterday we discussed this. Anything, I said Bhavaroga also. The first chapter, I think, Bhavaroga I told. Anything related to the skin, we think it belongs to me. Let it be house, let it be relatives, let it be relations, close blood relation, whatever it is. Anything which is related to the body, we think it is mine, me and mine. That is the basic problem. And this expands. This expands to the next level also. So then it becomes my state. Before that, it becomes my community, my state, my nation. Are you able to understand? Just for example, you think about a nation-wise. You say now,
Yes.
Enemy, Pakistan is our enemy. Correct? Okay. And your next life, you take birth in Pakistan. What happens? Who's an enemy? India is my enemy. Isn't it? Is it not foolishness?
Yes.
When we are ignorant, behave like this, Mataji.
Okay.
Yes.
That answered my question. So second question that I have is, usually in the weddings or when people are blessing, right? Older people are blessing, right? They usually tell, this is a saying in Kannada, right? Or they bless in Kannada telling, Yure ninige patiyak sigli. When there are so many Atmas, right? Like, how can we expect that same person will be coming back to us? That is one question that I have. There's one more question that I have, Prabhuji. See, sometimes when you see a person or when you see a tree or when you see an animal, there is that unknowing attraction or attachment that you feel. You don't know where, like, from how you got it, but still you're like, you see them for the first time and still you feel, okay, I know this person from long, I know this, there's something, there's some bond which is there, which is happening, right?
Yes.
Why does that happen? It means that we are were we connected in the past? Does that mean that, or it is just the initial infatuation, or it's just that attraction which is there? So these are the two questions that I had, Prabhuji.
Okay, well, let me answer the first question. So they're blessed that for 7 lifetimes you might get the same husband. So it is not the same husband. It's the same natured husband, a pious person. So you'll have the same nature because your husband is such a great person. So you'll be better in 7 lives also having the same kind of husband. I hope you understood. So he's such a great person. He's such a good person that you should thank him for the next 7 lives also.
Okay, so it is the qualities of the person that they are
Yeah.
blessing with and not the person itself.
Not the right same person. Why should
Got
he
it.
come and once again marry our and suffer with our hand? Nothing like that. Okay. And next thing, you're saying that somewhere attraction, some these things all. Yes, that is true. Manoj. And
Okay.
who comes to us? It is only, for example, you have a milk vendor. You this time you are not given the money to him,
Hmm.
and he is dead.
Hmm.
The debt is there on you.
Hmm.
Next life, he might, for his consciousness, Antakalecha Mameva Smaran Mukto Kalevaram. His next life can be a dog, can be a cat, based on his qualities or his guna at the time of death. He can be a human being also, whatever.
Hmm.
If he's a dog, he'll come to your house as a dog. You take that dog because you had the debt. You give so much of milk to the dog and you start serving that dog in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Becomes a human being. For example, you'll give some loan to him and finally he will not give, he'll cheat you and go. In that way, definitely you have that relationship. Anything which you are taken in this life, you should and must give them back.
Okay. So that is why that bonding will come in.
Yes.
So where we have
This
to
is
give
only
it
one
back.
lifetime. There's so many bondage will be there.
Yes.
And you have taken the birth in your house.
Mm-hmm.
This is called a cumulative karma.
Cumulative karma, okay.
To your parents, father and mother, and you have a brother, you have a grandfather, everyone, and that should match to you. Your previous karma, somewhere you have done many karmas, all the results will match to this family. Then you take the birth here, and you have to suffer and you have to enjoy based on our karma. Sometimes mother will be giving very much love and father will be always hurting you. Yes, something you have done in previous life and he has suffered from you. So now he's the pain. And you have something given gift to some soul. Now she has taken the form of your mother and she's happiness to you.
Okay.
Times it's very difficult to understand. That's what Krishna says in today's chapter, tomorrow's. About says even great Mahatmas cannot understand karma.
True.
Yeah, it is so difficult to understand the results of karma. But nature works perfectly. There's nothing called as accident, Everything goes on the order of the Lord. Even some accidents, we say, oh, accident. No accident. He has to die there. He will die. You can see this example of tsunami. Some person in the tsunami, from somewhere they came there to the ocean and they were dead. And some people were staying there from years or 2 years together. They got some opportunity, some free tickets they got. They were outside, the tsunami came and after that they came back. There's many things. I'll say a small story to understand this.
Okay.
Once a person has a desire that he wants to go in an ocean. And there is a boat, only one boat through that village. And only 40 people can enter that. So there was advance booking. So this person, whenever he goes, they say that no tickets. Tickets have been over. 40 tickets over. Okay, and that date will go. Second date. He was waiting for 1 week. Later, he got a ticket. Yes, he was. And that person, he was the sinner of the sinners. Such a sinner he was. Very bad person. So he was having a dacoit. He was stealing everyone's property. And this way he was a great, cruel person, you can think. So this kind of a person, on that day he went in the boat. In the middle of the ocean, this whirlpool or whatever, not whirlpool, this Chandamartha, there's a breeze and everything. It started rotating and it was about to sink. This person was saying, okay, now I hope everyone are going to die here. Fine. But he was speaking to the Lord. He was saying to the Lord, yes, I am a great sinner. I could understand. I was a doctor. I have cheated so many people. Let me die. But why this innocent people, all this 39 people should die? And there was a Ashari Ravani. The sky started speaking without any this thing. Celestial voice came. And it started saying that, oh, my dear fool, you no need to worry. Why your ticket was delayed? Because in search of your kind of people for so many days. All the 40 people are same sinners like you. At once, everyone will sink and die.
Whoa.
The nature has its own arrangements for everything. We think, oh, I am deciding this. No. Nature decides. and nature is working on the instructions of Krishna. Maya Kruti Suyate Sachara Charam Hetunane Kaunteya Jagat Viparivartate. Krishna is very clear. Bhagavad Gita, one scripture is sufficient, one book is sufficient for all our questions. It's so okay.
True. Thank you, Prabhuji. So the only thing that we can do is knowingly we should not commit any mistakes. So whatever that we have done before coming or entering into Krishna consciousness, it's already done. But at least going forward, we have to be careful about the actions or the things that we do. That is one way of becoming better person.
Yes, and one more thing I want to add. We decide the results of our action also. Sometimes it's good and it becomes bad. So it's better. Solution is only to become a devotee.
Devotee, yes.
I'll say one more.
Sure, Prabhuji.
Once what happened, there was a kid. So she was suffering from fever. Mother, from the morning, she's giving only hot things to the child. She's giving some hot rasam or something hot coffee and these things because she's suffering from fever. She was asking something cold thing, but mother was not giving. Later part, brother came, elder brother. Shoo, my dear sister, you're suffering from fever. I'll take care of you. What do you need? She said, my dear brother, I need one ice cream. From morning, my mother is troubling me by giving hot things. So he'll go and get ice cream and give to the sister. After eating ice cream, what happens to her?
He would become more, right? It would have become.
Fever became more and she was admitted in a hospital. She was admitted in ICU also. It depends whether she'll be alive or no. Did the brother do anything wrong here?
He just brought it and gave it. Sister asked and he followed it, right?
Yeah, whether it's wrong or right.
Right from brother's side, no, it is actually right. No, but if you see it, it is wrong. It is difficult.
No, it is right, Mataji.
It is right, okay.
Yes. So the result is not mine, not mine hand.
Okay.
So
it is
my daughter. Sorry.
Yes.
But it came a reverse. Rather than saving her, I'm killing her by giving the ice. So sometimes even with knowledge also you'll do some mistakes. So dependence on the Lord is the primary duty. So become a devotee.
Okay.
Tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhiyogam tamenamam upayantite. In coming days also I'll explain this. Krishna will take the decisions on behalf of us. He will guide us sitting in the heart. Because I have taken his shelter, he guides us. No, this is right. This is wrong. You don't do this. You do this. He instructs us. It depends how much shelter I am taking at the lotus feet of the Lord. Okay.
Got it. Yes, that answered my question, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. So, request to everyone is only to chant. Chant, yes. Bhagavad Gita will give the knowledge only after chanting. Before chanting, Bhagavad Gita is an ordinary book as all other books. Once you start chanting, that means you are accepted Krishna. That means Krishna says, Bhaktya mama vijanati yavanyasmi tattvataha. Only my devotees can understand this, Bhagavad Gita or me. If once you start chanting, that means you are accepted the supremacy of the Lord Krishna and you understand that whatever Krishna says is ultimate. Yes, he reveals you accordingly. Still, and as a challenging, yesterday I was saying, I am a great, what I can say, philosopher. I have so much of knowledge in this, that, material knowledge, all. Never it works here. Yeah. Okay, fine. Thank you. There's no any other questions. We'll wind up here. So I thank each and every devotee for attending today's session. Let us chant once Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and wind up for today. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you. So I'll give the option to unmute yourself. You can unmute, say once Hare Krishna and leave the session.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Trisha Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mata.
Chaitanya Mataji, Hare Krishna. Rama Prabhu,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Smita Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Krishna. Harita
Hare Krishna
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna. Yes, Devika Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna to all. Yes. Chandrasekhar Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Rajiv Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Raju Prabhu, Hare Krishna Pramod Prabhu, Hare Krishna to all. Thank you all for joining the session. We'll again continue with chapter 4. Hare Krishna. I'll end the session.